Let's talk about applications of the indefinite integral in business and economics. Something that is important to note in this section is that the total revenue is $0 if no items are produced. However, the total cost may not be $0 if nothing is produced. Take, for example, let's say you own a factory that produces tennis rackets. If you don't produce any tennis rackets, you're going to still have certain fixed costs like paying rent for the building or the warehouse or whatever, or maybe utilities like electricity and things like that. So that's something to keep in mind in these problems. Let's talk about example one that goes over total cost. Suppose the marginal cost function for a month for Mr. Kwan's boba is MC bar is equal to 2x plus 30, where x is the number of units of boba and cost is in dollars. If the fixed costs related to the product amount to $8,000 per month, find the total cost function for the month. So we have the marginal cost function is equal to 2x plus 30, and we want to take the integral of both sides. And if we integrate the left side, we're going to get the cost function, and then the right side, we would get, so we can rewrite it into two different integrals. And if we do that, we get 2x squared over 2 plus 30x plus, I'm going to write k instead of c since we have our cost function and we don't want to cause any confusion. So our cost function is equal to x squared plus 30x plus our constant of integration k. Now, we still need to figure out what k is, and we know that the fixed costs are $8,000, which means that that's another way of saying that c of 0 is equal to 8,000. So that's helpful because if we plug in 0 for x, the output is 8,000, and these terms will disappear, so we just end up getting k is equal to 8,000. That means that our total cost function is equal to x squared plus 30x plus 8,000. Example 2 says, suppose monthly records show that the rate of change of the cost or the marginal cost for a product is MC bar equals 3 times the square root of 2x plus 25, where x is the number of units and cost is in dollars. If the fixed costs for the month are $11,125, what would be the total cost of producing 300 items per month? So we have the marginal cost function is equal to 3 times the square root of 2x plus 25, and we want to integrate to get the cost function. So I'm going to pull out the 3. Let's write it with the 1/2 exponent. We're going to need to use u substitution, so I'm going to set u equal to 2x plus 25, and then du will equal to dx, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and we get du over 2 is equal to dx. So we can make this substitution there, and then also replace u here. So c of x will equal 3 times the integral of u to the 1/2 power times du over 2. And I'm just going to pull out the 1/2. So we have 3 halves times the integral of u to the 1/2 power du. Now we can just use the power rule. So that's going to equal 3 halves times. We want to increase the power by 1. So 1/2 plus 1 is 3 halves. And then we want to divide that by 3 halves as well, plus c. So we'll have 3 halves times, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal in the denominator so we can get rid of the fraction portion. And then u we determined was let's see, what was u? 2x plus 25, and that's going to be to the 3/2 power plus c. These will cancel each other out. So, I'm going to write this as k again. So c of x is equal to 2x plus 25 to the 3/2 power plus k. Now we need to figure out what our constant of integration is, and the beginning of the problem said that the fixed costs were $11,125. So that means that c of 0 is equal to 11,125. So if we plug in 0 into our function, the output will be 11,125, and that's going to simplify to 25 to the 3/2 power plus k is equal to 11,125, and 25 to the 3/2 power is 125. And then if you solve that for k, you get k equals 11,000. So our final cost function is 2x plus 25 to the 3/2 power plus 11,000. But the original question asks what would be the total cost of producing 300 items per month. So then we still need to evaluate C of 300, and that's going to be 2 times 300 is 600 plus 25 to the 3/2 power plus 11,000. And then if you simplify that, that ends up being 26,625. And the units on this is dollars since we're evaluating our cost function. So you could just write a sentence saying the costs of producing 300 units is $26,625, and that is our final answer.